Good evening, Akshay.
Very good evening.
Good evening.
See you
Can I
online.
request? How are you? How are you doing? How is cold in Gurgaon?
In cold, I think I'm dreading that very soon Holi will be there and scorching heat will begin. So it's sliding down. Very comfortable right now for the next 10-15 days, and
Okay.
hopefully
Fantastic.
you're back.
Good. But by that time you would be in Pune.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So today we have something which uh, we will look at in terms of the sales part of it. I am requesting all the participants, like I mentioned yesterday, to accept the paneling request. So all of you will come into panels. Your videos can be on. Can I request my team members to do that, please, quickly? Maybe Sheetal, Sheetal or Jyoti or
Yes,
Rohit.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quickly,
yes,
please start sending the request so that people can
yes.
accept it. Yeah, people have started coming. Fantastic. Very nice. And you can also make me the co-host. Also make me the co-host if possible.
Yes, sir. Now you are the co-host.
Well, thank you. Fantastic. As I think people are joining in now. All of you who are getting request, please accept that. It becomes easier for us to have conversations. Your doubts will get clear. Okay, the question answer round will help you. And more importantly, people who have missed yesterday's session, please do not miss these sessions, because if you miss these sessions, we will not be able to give you the inputs that is required to build all of that, what is required. Okay, so and then we demand uh, we demand recordings, we demand all of that. It becomes a little difficult to handle the logistics. If you are on time, life becomes easy. So just be sure that you are online. This Okay, Akshay, quickly let me also introduce all of you to one of the oldest and the youngest, oldest in terms of the age on SIL, and youngest in terms of his age. A senior partner of School of Inspirational Leadership. He has been in with SIL for a good amount of time now. He has been there with us since first Aarambh. So this is the sixth Aarambh that's happening. So since first Aarambh, his specialty has been into sales, building up sales management for various organizations. I know him personally for almost last 25 years. We've been together in our corporate life. I started my journey of entrepreneurship. Slowly, steadily, he joined us. So, and the journey has been fantastic together for 2-3 reasons. And I'll give you very honest opinion as a professional about him. One is his extreme dedication about the job that he does, and a fantastic commitment and discipline. Right. So these are two things that you can look at it. Apart from all of this that you get, that sales management, how to create a funnel and how to do all of that, that's part of the story. Anybody does that. But I think what brings out of him is that his ability to be really committed to the job that he does, really be disciplined in this. So I think he is one of the most busiest senior partner in the SIL community. And today he's going to speak about, and he's going to share his knowledge about, while you're building a budget, what are the elements of sales and sales management and marketing that you need to take in consideration while you're doing that. So Akshay, I think people will listen to you. We have the last 30 minutes to answer questions. So they can ask questions, but over to you right now from giving them the fundamentals of it while planning and then moving forward. So over to you.
I'll first of all, good evening, everyone. If you can unmute yourself and give me some energy, I think that would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I had
Good
a,
evening.
Good
Akshay.
evening.
and
Nice to
also
see
have
you.
hi Subodhji, good
Hi,
evening.
hi.
Good evening to you.
बहुत नर्वस
Good
हो रहा
evening,
हूँ, लेकिन
sir.
आप लोगों को देखकर थोड़ा सा कंफर्टेबल फील कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि
Very good evening, sir.
शायद 500 बार वेबिनार करने के बाद भी लगता है कि नए फेसेस फिर से आपको एक एक्साइटमेंट देते हैं सर्व करने के लिए. आई थिंक बिफोर आई say thank you and we invite Yogesh again at the end, I think I want to first of all congratulate each one of you. Why? Because a lot of people whom I know personally, whom I have consulted or may not have consulted with them in the past, primarily do not do the level of planning that we will do in Aarambh. Yeah. And those of you who have taken the decision to either join Aarambh sessions and decided to build the plan, I think you will see that the level of detailing that we will do is I think next level. And I, despite being from the industry, I haven't seen across the country. I'll be bold enough in saying that across the country, there is any other organization who's putting together a workshop like this, where we are. I think last year, if I'm not wrong, Yogesh, we did 7,000 crores of budgeting.
Yes.
I was sharing with a friend of mine who had been a Guinness Book of World Record holder. He stays in Delhi, very, very dear friend of mine. And he was saying that why don't you guys apply for it? And I think that inspires us to maybe opt for a larger number. But before we go there, thank you very much for joining. And let me take you through a quick journey around what this journey is all about. Okay. A little more than sales and marketing piece that I'll talk about. One question, am I audible? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Can't hear you.
Yes, sir, you are
Unmute
audible.
yourself, all of you shout, say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
फिजिकल रूम में जब आप लोगों से मिलूंगा पुणे में तो एनर्जी और ज्यादा होगी, ठीक है, लेकिन आज मेरी तबीयत ठीक नहीं है. Be nice to me. In case if I'm not audible, ask questions.
Sure, sir.
Now what we'll do is, you guys have not allowed me. My own team is not allowing me to share my screen. Abhijit, can you give me the freedom so that I can share my screen with people?
Yes, sir. You can share your screen now.
Thank you very much. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
I'll take you through a quick presentation. And wherever you feel that I'm going a little fast, stop me. Don't wait for last 30 minutes only to ask questions. I'm okay if you can ask questions right now also. Okay, what we are intending to do at Aarambh is that there are four. If you have a pen and paper, write down 4 critical words that are needed to scale up a company. You have not paid for Aarambh, you have not paid for learning how to do budgeting. You want to scale up your company, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You don't want
Yes.
to do budgeting. For budgeting, you can hire an accountant who will do budgeting. Yes, no? There are 4 important blocks of scaling up a company. Number 1 is people. Number 2, strategy. Number 3, execution. And number 4, cash. So Udayraj, if you can share what are the four? I have this habit of bouncing off the ideas to people.
It's people, strategy, execution, and cash.
Give me an example, Udayraj, of a people issue which might come as a roadblock in scaling up a company.
One could be not having the right leadership team also, who can drive that strategy.
Might be.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me one example of not having a right strategy to scale up your company.
Yeah. Where do you want to go? That's itself a strategy.
And it could be a people strategy. It could be a
Exactly.
marketing strategy. It could be a sales strategy. It could be any part of it. Yes, no?
Yep.
Give me an example of an execution issue that might become a bump on the road to scale up a company.
Yeah. I mean, your receivables. I mean, if
Execution discipline itself in the company.
yeah.
I meet owners who does not have a calendar to review all the important KPIs or functions in the organization because they themselves are self-employed in their company. Yes or no?
Yes.
They don't have a function structure. They don't have a review structure. They don't have a who, what, when discipline in the company. And discipline has within it the potential of creating future miracles. And last but not the least, there are some companies who have not been able to scale up because there is a cash issue there. What do you mean? Give me an example of a cash issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's very good to see profits, but at the end of the day, the cash flow is not being generated by the business.
Absolutely. Very well said. There's a very old saying, very popular amongst business entrepreneurs, and I will not hesitate in copying that quote. It says, revenue is vanity.
Yes.
Profit is sanity, and cash is king. Yeah. Some people only measure volume and price, which is revenue. Some people are smarter. वो दिखावे पर नहीं जाते हैं, इंपॉर्टेंट मेट्रिक को फॉलो करते हैं, प्रॉफिट कैलकुलेट करते हैं, वो ग्रॉस मार्जिन कैलकुलेट करते हैं, नेट प्रॉफिट कैलकुलेट करते हैं और देखते हैं रियल में क्या पैसा बचा. लेकिन द रियल piece of a business or a oxygen of the business is cash. Yes, no? You have grown in volume, but your overheads has increased more. Is it a good state to be in? Yes, no? Your company has grown by 20%, your overheads have grown by 24%, and you have made lesser money than the last year. And there are 7 levers. There are 7 financial levers of a company. Yes, no? Yeah. I'll talk about those financial levers a little later when we meet. Guru Ravi Shankar says surprises brings joy. So I'll keep those surprises for the meetings that we'll have, physical one-on-one. Okay. But I'll just set the context today. You will understand what I'm intending to do. This Aarambh was created not to teach you or give you a template. Huh? The templates are available online. On one side is strategy, on one side is execution. Okay. And there's a gap in between. And every organization that I meet has a strategy for market capitalization and growth. What differentiates the market leader from the rest is consistency and success. And that's why execution excellence is important. Okay. What are the barriers to execution excellence? Why do companies do not scale up? Number one, alignment itself. If the wheels of the vehicle is not aligned, it goes in different directions. 2, liking and disliking of the owner or the leadership team. There are habits that needs to change of getting busy in unwanted and negative work and handling of multiple execution points simultaneously. There are some people available right now on the screen. I'm not going to name them, who are quasi sales head in their own organization. मैं जानता हूँ, अभी नाम लेकर परेशान नहीं करना चाहता. They'll start smiling. They know whom I'm talking about right now. Video भी on नहीं कर रहे हैं जानबूझ के. They are sales head of their own company. They are marketing head of their own company. They are CFO of their own company. Okay. And because of which they reach to a certain size only, but they don't break the glass ceiling. Yes, no? Some very simple formulas. If your company is less than 10 people, you should not be worried about what I'm talking about right now. Play every role. Okay, do everything. Get involved in every process. If you have more than 10 people and less than 50 people, what you should do? You should break the organization into functions, various functions, and delegate your strength. Up till 10 people, you should only delegate weaknesses. Hire people. When does an entrepreneur hire the first person in the company? एक ओनर सबसे पहले आदमी को कब हायर करता है अपनी कंपनी में? When you can't do that job yourself. Yes or no?
Yes.
Up till 10 people, hire people which for the work that you can't do. The moment you hire the 11th employee in the company, please delegate your own strengths. And what I'm saying right now, a lot of business coaches or consultants who are there in the market might not agree with me. Some owners will debate with me, but that's the key to delegation. If you will delegate strengths and identify what you are good at, then you will be free to manage the other things. Otherwise, what happens is, in a manufacturing setup, if the guy who's the owner of the company is primarily a production guy, then he never leaves production, ever. If he comes from an advertising, marketing, sales background, he never leaves that function. The guy who becomes the sales head also later becomes claustrophobic in his presence because he has an opinion on everything. Yes or no? तो वो पेड़ कभी बड़ा ही नहीं होता क्योंकि वही उनको आता है, जबकि जो आता है उसको छोड़ना है. And then the last piece is, how do we align to execution? करें कैसे? What do you see on the picture? Quickly write down in the chat box what do you see on the picture. Share your reflections of what you see in the picture. Quickly. 30 seconds more. Whatever you see on the picture, share your reflections. I'm stopping the screen. I'll read the comments. Otherwise, I'll not be able to read the comments also. What do you see? So somebody says lack of smart. Okay. Siddharth is there. Okay. Hi, Siddharth. Long time. We met at 3 o'clock. You are back again.
Yes, sir.
Stand still, rough edges.
Yes.
Plan to fail, overload, square wheels, more people putting load on one person, passing the buck. Avoidable effort due to lack of understanding. Hi, Yuvraj. How are you? I hope you are the same Yuvraj that I know. Avoidable effort due to lack of understanding. Wrong place is at wrong person at the wrong place. Do you see another phenomenon? Do you see a few people showing off that they're working? They're showing that they're working, but they're actually not working. Why does that happen? You make the budget, you make a brilliant strategy, you put together excellent execution plan, but nothing seems to be moving. Why does that happen?
Wrong people.
Okay. Anyone else? Somebody is writing in the chat box. Atul is saying execution. Anyone else?
Because they are not aligned to the goals also.
They're not aligned to the goal. The alignment to execution is the fundamental problem. If I don't see that goal as my goal and I don't get aligned, we go in various directions in practical life. Yes or no? Sometimes it happens because you have created verticals, but the verticals are not aligned with that goal. Sometimes you have created various go-to-market strategies. People are not aligned with the larger goal. And then push and pull starts happening. And instead of creating a culture of positive dissatisfaction, people start pulling each other. And unfortunately, pulling each other down rather than pushing each other in the right direction. Yes or no? We see this every day inside the organization or outside the organization. There are two types of personal disposition which also impacts execution excellence. One is called category A and second is called category B. Any guesses what is category A and what is category B? And what do you mean by personal disposition? Personal disposition are those things which a human being likes doing. मुझे फाइनेंस में मजा आता है, मुझे सेल्स में मजा आता है, मुझे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में मजा आता है. So what you do is you start picking up those tasks as an owner of the company whom you like doing, or as a leader of the company like doing, and then you drop off those things which you don't like doing. Like typical salespeople like to interact and have a cup of tea in front of the customer, but they don't do day-end reporting. For them, cat A is interaction and cat B is analysis, data analysis, reporting, or making the presentation for review. Yeah. Because of which what happens is cat B tasks suffer. Now, let's say, assuming a case study, a company has 10 functions. If the owner or the leader decides to review 3 functions more regularly than the rest 7, यूनेस्को के कवर पेज पर आपने मैलन्यूट्रिशन चाइल्ड की फोटोग्राफ देखी है? हाँ, वो फंक्शन मैलन्यूट्रिशन हो जाता है. Because the rule is that wherever the attention goes, energy flows. And to set up the execution system, I'm going to share with you not only today, but when we have a chat, interact with each other, while having our dinner, while we are having our lunch, let's have a very detailed discussion around how do we set up the execution system inside the organization. I'll talk about it a little later. Let me quickly go on to the next part. Now, assuming that there are 3 tasks that you have to do in a day, and I have written the dispositions also. Which one you will pick up first? Write down in the chat box or unmute yourself and answer. Which one you will do
High impact.
prioritize today?
High impact.
1, 2 or 3?
High impact.
अच्छा, ऐसे हम करते हैं प्रायोरिटाइजेशन अपनी लाइफ में. 5 F हैं लाइफ में. There are 5 Fs in life which are important. Friends, family, finance, fitness, and 5th one, faith. Friends, family, finance, fitness, faith. Are these not high impact? Hello? Jagjit, are these not high impact?
Yes, they are.
Huh?
Yes,
Which
they
one
are.
out of these 5 at a personal level, I'm asking a very personal question to you, has taken a back seat for you? And which one is number 1 priority for you?
Finance has taken a back seat and faith has taken the front seat.
Fantastic. But are these not high impact? All 5?
Yes, all 5 are high impact.
Now just imagine, I'm talking and mixing business and personal life. I always say that if you're not growing in all 5F, why the heck you have got into business? Continue doing your job then. If you're not growing in all 5. Yes, no?
Yes.
If you are getting stuck and it's becoming a rat race for you, then you're not building a successful business. On to that, let's look at, as you have rightly said, high impact, but this is not how we prioritize things. Some challenges that you will face while after building the budget also. Number one. Number two. I'm talking about those things that might happen even after building the budget.
Say, can I interrupt?
Yes, why not?
Actually, I just couldn't figure out category 1 and 2 going back. If you
The
can
personal
just
disposition.
personal disposition.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
What are the things that you like doing?
I like to watch movies.
This is on the
I like
personal front. Give me
this
one
is on the personal front. On the official front,
professional word example.
professionally. So I like to interact with people.
And what are the things that you, if push comes to shove, you do it, but you feel it is on the proximity front, it is the other polarity. Finance अच्छा लगता है?
Finance अच्छा लगता
वर्किंग
है.
कैपिटल
Actually,
कैलकुलेट करो कंपनी के अंदर, अच्छा लगता है? वर्किंग कैपिटल कैलकुलेट करके दो, अच्छा लगता है? अकाउंट रिसीवेबल्स और अकाउंट पेएबल्स के बारे में बात करो, अच्छा लगता है?
हाँ, नहीं, that I like basically. I don't like when we discuss on the collections and sales. मेरा first ये है.
Now, it is a scale. मेरे पास स्केल तो नहीं है, रूम में थोर का हैमर है.
Okay.
एक साइड पर वो चीजें हैं जो अच्छी नहीं लगती हैं, एक साइड पर वो चीजें हैं जो अच्छी लगती है. This is category A, this is category B. Yes, no?
Okay,
What
fine.
happens in real life is that our decision making itself, it gets impacted even after the building the budget because of our liking and disliking, because of our personal disposition. And let me tell you, most of the success stories of scale up, majority of the times are on the other side of the story, which is the other side of your comfort zone.
Okay.
What is there in category B is outside your comfort zone. Yes or no?
Right, exactly.
Cat B is nothing but outside your comfort zone. Cat A is comfort zone. Yes, no?
Right.
For some people, fitness comes naturally to them.
Correct.
You agree with me, Kajal? Does fitness comes naturally to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care of that routine. Yes, no?
Yes.
But for some, fitness is like very, very difficult. How can one get up in the morning and go out for a walk? Whereas taking calls and reviewing their team members and taking their happiness in the day comes naturally to them. Yes, no? Cat A, Cat B. We need to be aware about what needs to be done while building the budget also. There are laundry list of things which can come in the way. But let me talk about this a little later, or what it can do. Give me 1 second. I think the screen has got stuck. There's some challenge on my screen. Are you able to see the screen?
No, we are not.
Okay, let me try once again. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes.
Does this happen in our life? Or similar kind of situation happens in our life?
Yes.
Yes.
During these stages, what happens to the strategy? During these stages, when you're stuck deep neck into execution, what happens to the strategy? When there are multiple execution points. When the rate of incoming execution points is more than the rate of completion of execution points.
But again, it comes down to the point where your execution should be in line with what your strategy is.
But reality is that there are certain days where your agenda gets choked completely. You plan so well, sitting in a conference room at Orchid Hotel, Pune. But suddenly when you step out, the world has not changed. Yes, no?
True.
People are still the same. Our employees are still the same. The review systems are still the same. You want to implement a change initiative inside the organization. And if you have not called them inside this workshop together and they are not aligned with what you are intending to do, nothing is going to change. Yes, no?
True.
What happens because of that is that if this happens, let me share the screen again. If your rate of incoming execution points is greater than the rate of completion of execution points, what happens is you feel like this. And it negatively impacts your efficiency. Now, to be able to come out of all of this, you have to do the following things. Number one, I request each one of you, this is my humble request. Do not join Aarambh if you want to learn a template which can create the P&L for you. It's a waste of money. One of the biggest pain that I will have when you will say goodbye to us on 20th, if you have not built your budget. And I fear this objection because of whatever reasons, you being lazy, we have not been efficient, whatever might be the reason, our team has not explained to you, whatever might be the reason, please complete your budget. Budgeting exercise is nothing but an agenda for execution. I'm repeating, budgeting exercise is nothing but an agenda of execution. Instead of your ideas, you put some numbers to it and you make it as objective as possible. Yes, no? While I'm going to talk about sales and marketing piece right now, and on that day also, or during the Aarambh piece, and my other colleagues will talk about all the other spheres that you can discuss. In general, if you want to talk about life also, there will be enough expertise available in that room. Yeah. Now, going back to what are the things that you need to correct while building the budget. Number two, what do you mean by Tisukovo? Anybody aware? What is the full form of Tisukovo? Hello, any guesses? Good evening. Any guesses? What is Tisukovo? It's a Japanese method. It is called timely and successful completion of work. Building a habit or a management practice or management practices in the organization where work gets completed. Please learn from our consultants on how to ensure that the entire organization gets aligned. There are 4 practices that we are going to teach you. And if I don't cover that during my session when we meet, please remind me. How do we set up? Okay. We need to build practices, management practices in the organization where everyone gets aligned. In sports, what is the method that is being used that everyone gets aligned? इतना hint दे दिया मैंने.
Team order.
Incorrect, Siddharth.
Scoreboard.
बोला टारगेट. स्वानंद ने बोला. मैं जानता था कोई सेल्स वाला ही बोलेगा. टारगेट से अलाइन कभी जिंदगी में अगर हुए लोग तो क्या बात है. मैं अपने बेटे को टारगेट देकर अलाइन नहीं कर पाता.
Team performance.
Everyone is given a task.
No.
Scoreboard.
Fantastic, Siddharth. Thank you. I'm proud of you. Yeah. Scoreboard is the only thing in a sport which is visible from every corner of the stadium. I'm not talking about the gully cricket that we have played with, which is without a scoreboard. I'm talking about professional sports. Now let me ask each one of you, say yes or no in the chat box. How many of you have scoreboards visible inside the office for everyone in the organization? Yes, no?
No.
Fantastic, Siddharth. one of the organizations where I'm consulting, we started with putting together scoreboards on a piece of paper. An year later, we built a Google Sheet system. An year later, we built a system where we started seeing it on TV, where in the owner's cabin, everything was visible. And this year, we are coming with LFD screens. Look at the visual. Every scoreboard of sales cycle, of delivery cycle, of making or inventory cycle, and of cash cycle is available on the board. Now, Uday, if it is available, what does that lead to? Or Shruti for that matter. If the scoreboard of the entire organization of all the 4 cycles are available, then what does that lead to?
So you know where you have to push up, pull yourself up, and where you're doing good.
Can I share that in your ears? This is the most easy formula to become lazy and not do someone else's job. Scoreboard within it has the power to motivate people. Some people who are very far off from their target will get out of the system automatically. Nothing demotivates a sales team more than not achieving their targets. Nothing demotivates them more. Obviously, a bad manager also demotivates them. A dash manager whom we want to beat with this hammer also demotivates them. Yes, no? In fact, there have been managers in my life whom I wanted to shoot. Always. If you'll come into my room, there are many equipments how I really want to shoot each one of them. Is that okay? Now let's look at all the practices that we want to implement in the organization. Third, please align your time management with priorities. Fix up your operational priorities. Fix up effective delegation system. And to be able to do that, one last question before we get into sales and marketing pieces. Have you experienced this situation in your life? On one side is strategy and one side is execution and you're stuck somewhere. Or you're stretched somewhere. Yes, no? Write down in the chat box. Yes, no?
Yes, yes.
If you want to get out of this situation, okay, what you need to do is let's Aarambh. That's why we have given the name of this workshop to Aarambh. Do you want to spend time with your family? Yes, no? Do you want to spend time with your friends or only build a budget? Do you want to take out some time for your fitness routine also?
Yes.
Do you want to spend time and give it back to the society, some percentage of your karma back into the system, and spend time on your faith also? If you want to do or focus on all 5, can somebody write it down for me in the chat box? What are the 5 F's I am talking about? I'm not talking about the F which is very common on YouTube or Netflix. I'm talking about faith, family, friends, fitness and finance. अगर ये आपको मेरे से समझना है 5 चीजें, तो बहुत ध्यान से बजट बनाना सीखिए. Pay extreme attention to this subject. What are these methods? Let's Aarambh. My first question to each one of you is, what is the sales budget? Hello, what is the sales budget? अब मैं तो आया था सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग बजट करने की बात, आधा घंटा मैं कुछ और बात कर रहा हूं आपसे. What is the sales budget? होता क्या है सेल्स बजट?
It's a revenue budget from the customers or from the different sectors.
It is a revenue budget from the customer of different sectors. Okay. What is the process of creating a budget? Is there a process? Is there a scientific process?
Yes. The schedules.
Why is it important? Because without this, you can't build a budget. What are the ways of preparing and what are the considerations? Let me talk about these 5 things. Number 1, sales budget is the estimation of sales revenue and sales overheads for a particular period. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
There are 3 benefits: better utilization of resources, higher profitability, and less wastage. And there are only 2 important components of a sales budget. Number 1. Number 2. Is there any third component of a sales budget? Apart from quantity and price, is there any third component of a budget?
Time also.
Timeline.
Time.
That we have already said that it is built over a period of time.
That's
In
it.
the definition itself, I said it is the estimation of revenue for a particular period.
That's it.
Yes or no? तो अगर हम देखें तो हम पूरे बजट को बनाने के लिए 3I रूल अप्लाई करते हैं. कौन कौन सा? 3I. I मतलब लेटर I. 3I रूल अप्लाई करते हैं. फर्स्ट I क्या है? हाउ टू इंक्रीज रेवेन्यू. सेकेंड I क्या है? हाउ टू रिड्यूस कॉस्ट. और थर्ड I क्या है? हाउ टू इंप्रूव प्रोसेसेस इन द कंपनी. What are the 3 I's? Hello?
Increase revenue,
Reduce
reduce
You
cost.
need to share a secret with the help of which you will be able to scale up your company at least by 10% only by implementing one management practice. And I guarantee,
Yes, please.
I can bet my salary on this, huh? Provided you do it with the same amount of discipline that I'm asking you to do.
Sure.
Please note it down. Do one meeting every month with all your team members if your organization is having less than 30 people. अगर आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में 30 लोगों से कम लोग हैं, then do a meeting with everyone together. Okay? And in that meeting, only ask for ideas around all these 3I. First question is, let's say assuming that you are the 30 people and I'm running the meeting. Okay? So I'll give you some time, 3 minutes time to share with me 3 ideas on how to increase revenue in the company. If it is a very old organization, do it on a piece of paper, give them writing pads and pen. If it is a very tech-savvy organization, you have young audience, then you run a Slido screen and ask them to share with you ideas digitally. Yes, no, and give them links so that they can use your phone. Okay. I will use all those ideas when I'll do the workshop on 19th and 20th. Is that okay?
Yes.
Then ask them 3 minutes time again and ask them how to reduce cost in our company. Even if they give you idea around, let's say, change the mat at the front office, please don't ridicule anyone. Okay. Some practices that you need to build is listen. And you have to be the dumbest person in the room. Don't act smart. The smartest person always is the dumbest person in the room. Who's listening? Because our job is to make the other people feel safe. And third idea, tell me one process that we can improve in our company. Is that okay? Can you do it for the next 36 months? Once a month, 30 minutes. Hello?
Yes, we can.
On one side, please do this exercise. Make minutes of meeting. Make actionable ideas around it. Follow through once a month. When you do the next month, show the actions that has been taken from the previous month. Take actions and complete this 3I exercise for the next 3 years. Is that okay? I guarantee that only this management practice will help you improve 10% improvement in your revenue. Is that okay?
Yes.
If it gives 100%, Don't get
Sorry.
surprised.
Excuse me, you spoken about 3 ideas for increasing revenue, 1 idea for improving process.
Whose voice is this? I am lost.
Uday.
Uday. I got lost in the screen. Uday, over to you. Yes. Let me pin you so that I can see you. Go ahead.
So you mentioned about 3 ideas for increasing revenue.
I said 3I.
Yeah.
First I is how to increase revenue.
Okay.
Second I is an idea to reduce cost. And third I is to share ideas around improving processes.
Got it.
Can I ask you a simple question just to demystify this 3I principle?
Yes.
Is there anything else that we do in work life? When you go to office, is there anything else that you do?
Basically, no.
You persuade people to either increase revenue, or you persuade people to reduce cost, or you persuade people to improve some process. Yes, no? Unless and until you are yourself wasting time. I'm talking about the productive time. I'm not talking about human interactions, which can be about any other subject under the sun also. Is that okay? That's being human. We need some space to talk about shit also. Yes or no? We are not monks. So remember this 3I. Can you promise me that you will practice this 3I for the rest of your life?
Yes, we can do this.
Okay, very simple management practice. I will share with you at least 10 management practices when I meet you. And everyone will have the potential to increase your company to 10x. The only missing link would be those who will and those who won't. What is the missing link?
The discipline to do it or not do it.
That's it. Kajal, the discipline has within it the potential of creating future miracles. Discipline to increase revenue, discipline to reduce cost, and discipline to improve processes. This single management practice can drive many things that you will discuss in Aarambh. Let me talk about the other things also. If this is valuable, let's look at other valuable things also. There is a process that we build the budget. I've already crossed the timeline. Okay. Number 1, decide a period of sales budget. Number 2, collect previous sales data, potential data. Gather information, various considerations, and prepare a forecast. And compare actual performance with forecast. And take corrective measures. Is there anything else that you will do after attending Aarambh also? I may be oversimplifying. After building this annual operating plan, is there a 7th thing that you will do? Hello?
Keep reviewing it also, right? Because if you've taken
That is what
corrective
taking
measures.
corrective measures is all about. Comparing actual performance with forecast is nothing but putting together your target versus actual and reviewing it. Yes or no? The most important part is while building a budget is that are you taking care of all considerations which are required to build a budget, or are you missing some point? Okay, so let me unveil the considerations first. Number 1, let me go straight to the considerations. I'll talk about ways to prepare a budget a little later. Let's look at, have you considered your past sales figures and trends? Yes, no. Just write it down in the chat box. While preparing a budget, have you considered your past sales figures and trends? Just write down yes in the chat box or no in the chat box for that matter. The simplest thing, huh? Everyone does it. We compete with each other or our own self. The second is, have you involved your sales team members to estimate whether we are in the right direction or not? Have you taken estimations from them? Or it is top down. I decide in my company, this is how budget should be. If you have not taken the estimation from them, involve them. If there is anyone who has said no, because this no will lead to issues related with team alignment. From April to December, they will tell you that they will be able to achieve the target. On 15th of March, they will tell you that it was impossible. You decided. You did not scientifically calculate. So in the process of, and in case if you have registered yourself for Aarambh and you're not calling your critical key stakeholders in this workshop, my request is please avail the offer from our team and involve them. Don't come back alone. If you are the owner of a small company and you are coming alone, see if there is anyone else from finance, from sales perspective who is critical to success. Should be there. I'm not talking about the entire organization. We will be more than happy because we'll get revenue, but all critical stakeholders who needs to be involved. Yes, no? If you have not done, please register today. Okay. Number 3. If you are into production, look at plant capacity also. I know of a friend who has built a company whose basic margin from that company is 10%, whose net profit is around 10%. And because of poor understanding of finance and balance sheet and P&L, they have invested in almost tripling their plant capacity. With a hope that business will come. And today, the third part from where I started the session, I said revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is king. This third part is a malnutrition child in the company. They are struggling. Their cash flow is going through tremendous pain. जिसे हम hand to mouth कहते हैं, उससे भी थोड़ा नीचे. Because the capacity was not calculated while building the plan. Okay. Already they had the capacity to consume what they were planning. They built another capacity around it. Excitement भी होता है ना, gut feel भी होता है owner का, लगता है चल जाएगा. And one wrong decision has heavy cost. Number 4. Some businesses have an issue of availability of raw materials. Yeah. I know of a company, and there are friends on this call also, they will also laugh. They know whom I'm talking about. Their last 3 years trends has been always that the fourth quarter covers the first 3 quarters. Past trends show that. Hello? देखो कुछ चेहरे मुस्कुरा रहे. I am not taking names right now. Yeah. Despite that, the capacity is not created. The availability is not checked. What a silly mistake. Huh? Then outsider can warn, can share. And especially companies which are dependent on metals, where the commodity price moves up and down. You need to be mindful of that. Some companies, it is not relevant. I'm talking about largely those companies which are into manufacturing. Number 5. How many of you read globally and in India? What are the prospects of your own business? So when I meet you on 19th and 20th, let me ask somebody. Okay. So let's say take, for example, anyone who would like to share that they really read about the growing trends of their industry globally and in India, and they have a ready presentation around it. Or you're running a small shop where I'm not concerned about what is happening next booth. If you are in education industry, do you know at what CAGR globally education industry is moving? If you are manufacturing a particular product or cycle, what's happening globally? Because one change in strategy here and there can change the fortunes of the company. Yes or no? One change in awareness about general trade, shifting your office to the right place, can be a game changer. Having one contact in that country can be a game changer. Moving there first can be a game changer. Moving there fast can be a game changer. So while building the sales budget, you will have to look at all possible medium, my dear friends. Sixth consideration, orders in hand. If you are into B2B business, you need to look at orders in hand. You need to look at seasonal fluctuations. Data is required for that. You need to look at financial muscle. आपका ₹1 लगाया हुआ रिटर्न ऑन कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड कितना करता है? कंपटीशन क्या कह रहा है, क्या कर रहा है? एडवर्टाइजिंग आप कितने करने वाले हो? गवर्नमेंट क्या आपको सब्सिडी दे रही है? क्या इंपोर्ट की पॉसिबिलिटी है आपके बिजनेस में? क्या मार्केट ट्रेंड्स रिसर्च करते हो आप? क्या आप कस्टमर्स डेटा देते हो? क्या आपने किसी एक्सपर्ट का ओपिनियन लिया है, अपने आप बजट बना लिया है? पोटेंशियल मार्केट आपको कुछ दिखाई दे रहा है क्या? कौन कौन से चैनल पे आप माल बेच रहे हो? प्राइस फ्लक्चुएशन कर रहे हो क्या? कंज्यूमर डिमांड के बारे में बात कर रहे हो, टेक्नोलॉजिकल डेवलपमेंट की बात कर रहे हो? ये 21 कंसिडरेशंस हैं. आपको जो आरंभ का बजट टेम्पलेट दिया गया है उसमें चेकलिस्ट की तरीके से 21 कंसिडरेशंस हैं. The Aarambh budget template that we are going to give you, or we have already provided, or maybe it will come in your upcoming sessions depending on when have you enrolled. You will get this template and a checklist. Is that okay? Yeah. So that when you prepare, it is not only सर लास्ट ईयर हमने 21 में इतना किया था, हम 22-23 में इतना करेंगे, हम 22-23 में इतना किया तो 23-24 में इतना करेंगे. उसके पीछे के लॉजिक को सोचना. Yes, no? And logic is nothing but considering various scenarios. Yes, no? One more additional pieces that I wanted to share with you. Give me 1 second. I'll show something on the screen. Give me 1 second. Huh? Assuming how many channels are there to reach out to your customer? How many ways you can reach out to your customer? Last 2 tips and then we get into question and answer. What are the possible ways of reaching out to a customer? If you are building your go-to-market strategy, what are the possible ways of reaching out to the customer?
Direct customer sale, direct sales, digital.
So कहीं पेपर और पेन पर ले लीजिए क्योंकि ये सब हम करेंगे एक्सरसाइज बजट बनाते वक्त. Number 1 is B2B. Second is B2C. Third is B2G. Sorry for the background noise. I think my wife is teaching my son in another room. So my apologies for that. Hands up, I can't say anything to her. Okay. 1, B2B. Second is B2C. Third is B2G. And fourth is B2E. And fifth is B2I. What is B2B? Shankar,
Business
what
to
is B2B?
business. Business to
Shankar,
business.
what is B2B?
Business to business.
Business to business. Okay. This could be through a distribution channel also. B2C कौन सा है?
Business to customers.
Business to consumer. Okay. B2G कौन सा है?
Business to government.
B2E कौन सा है?
Exhibitions.
Export.
Export.
Across the border. And B2I कौन सा है? digital, e-commerce, quick commerce. Yes, no? I do not know what is the product that you guys sell, because of which go-to-market strategy will be applicable to you. Okay. But have you included all 5 in your radar? Yes, no? Do you have a product which can give you instant cash flow? Or you are dependent on one business which your dad has started, where the payment cycle is 65 days and you have been running that business for last so many years? A company which generates cash, let's say, let me give you a case study or ask you a question. Let's say one channel, and this is a question to, let's say, Atul Meshram. Atul, unmute yourself and let me ask you a question. Let's say there is a channel in a company which gives 1.3% of margin. Okay. And you get the money in 3 days time. And there is another channel which gives you 2.6% of margin. But the money comes to the company in 2 weeks time. Which channel is more profitable?
First one.
And how have you calculated the percentage?
Because sir, see, if we will give a credit, we will have to, there is a bank interest on it. So it's a cash and carry business, so it is immediately liquidated to us.
If the payment cycle from the time the customer was contacted or got interested to the time the money is banked is 3 days, then how many cycles in a month that person can rotate?
10 cycles.
10 cycles. 10 cycles with 1.3% return will be how much return?
13%.
13%.
And the other one can only be rotated twice.
Right. Correct.
Which is half of it. So even looking at the business model requires understanding of 7 financial levers. Can somebody guess what are the 7 financial levers of a company? This is the last one. And then
Revenue. Revenue.
the first, can you write down somebody in the chat box for me so that everyone can copy them? What are the important levers for any company to increase so that they can scale up their company? Number 1, first write down price. The first financial lever is price. If you can increase your price, can you increase your revenue? Can you scale up your company by increasing your price? Yes or no? Hello?
Yeah.
Some people say that their revenue has grown by 30%, whereas the raw material prices have grown by 30%. Their sales team has done nothing. But they are very happy. Last year we were at 50 crores. This year we are at 75 crores. Without looking at the raw material prices. That has grown. Your selling price has grown. The company has not grown. The overheads has increased. You have made lesser margin this year. Okay. So one is price. Can you promise me that when you will meet on 19th and 20th, you will have information about all the 7 levers?
Yes.
First is price. Second is volume. Volume means, let's say take for example, what do you guys sell? Kajal, what is your product? What is your service?
Training programs to
It's a
corporates.
training programs. And your unit is hour or man day. Let's say last year you did as an individual, let's say 200 man days. So your volume has increased to 250 man days, or your price was, let's say 50,000 rupees a day and you made X rupees. This year you did 250 man days at the same price or at increased price, your volume will increase. Yes, no? So
Agreed.
Calculation of volume, price and volume, 2 levers. What is the third lever? Third lever is cost of goods sold, COGS. This is a term used in P&L and balance sheet. Number fourth lever, overheads, your indirect expenses. Number five, receivables, account receivables, AR. Next, inventory. And last but not the least, payables. Let's do a simple exercise. Price को increase करना है, decrease करना है to scale up.
Increase.
Fantastic. तो price के बगल में एक arrow बना लो. Price के बगल में एक up arrow बना लो. Volume को increase करना है, decrease करना है.
Increase.
हाँ?
Increase.
Fantastic. Cost of goods sold को increase करना है, reduce करना है.
Reduce.
Fantastic. Overheads को increase करना है, reduce करना है.
Reduce.
Fantastic. Receivables को increase करना है या बढ़ाना है?
Reduce करना ना.
ठीक है, मैंने कहा इंक्रीज करना है, बढ़ाना है, सुन तो रहे हो, चलो. और इसके बाद आता है इन्वेंट्री. इन्वेंट्री को बढ़ाना है या कम करना है?
कम करना है.
फैंटास्टिक. और पेबल्स को बढ़ाना है या कम करना है?
बढ़ाना है.
ठीक है. तो अगर आप वापस चले जहां से मैंने आज शुरू किया था, 3I में पहला आइडिया क्या है? प्राइस और वॉल्यूम को बढ़ाना. कंसिस्टेंटली पागलों की तरीके से दीवानेपन के साथ सोचते रहो. और आपको आज मैं एक बहुत ही सिंपल सा टेक्निक देके जा रहा हूं. उसके लिए आपको कोई कंसल्टेंट की जरूरत नहीं है. ध्यान से सोचिए. आपको अपने आप से पूछना है 3I सवाल. And be fanatical about it. I have never sold a training program or a consulting assignment at the same price that I had sold before. When I was the business head in Africa with Bharti Airtel, and when I came back to India, people called me fool because I was saving $20,000 a month. Okay. So my first benchmark was to reach that number. I came because of a personal reason. My mother was on the deathbed. I had to take care of her for the last 8 months. I lost her in 2018. Okay. But after that, I've only worked on 3I, which I've shared with you. I've taken care of 21 considerations while building a plan, which I've shared with you. When I meet next to you, I will also give you some ideas around marketing. But I'll just share before I leave. I will share 7 things that you need to be mindful of. I'll share in detail in the next session. Wait for my next session. I will, whenever it is slotted, I'll talk about 7 musts of marketing on that day. Number 1, advertising. Number 2, direct mail. Number 3, corporate literature. Number 4, public relation. Number 5, personal contact. Number 6, market education. Number 7, I want to see in your budget 1 of the 7 or 2 of the 7 or all 7 or 3 of the 7, depending on what kind of business that you do, applied in your budget. And can you promise me that you will put a number of money that you are going to spend for your marketing next year? This is an area where Indians are very bad, where foreigners or especially Western countries are very good. They know how to create a product and mesmerize the audience out of it. Yes, no?
Yes.
But I assure you that I'm going to share from stage ideas which will mesmerize you for sure, which you may not have used before. Okay. What are the 7 musts of marketing? Number 1 is
Advertising.
Number 2,
Direct mail.
Number 3, direct. What is direct mail?
Emailers.
Oh, direct mail is not that. Direct mail is snail mail, not email.
Okay.
People have forgotten about snail mails. Okay. Today, Uday, if I have to take an appointment from you, and let's say you are head of HR, and this is good for Kajal. If you are head of HR of a target company that I want to target, okay, and if I send you a poster which is 12 feet, and you have not been giving an appointment which says, it's a foam board that I send you, which says, kindly pick my call. Will you be interested in talking to me?
Yes.
Might be not.
Yeah.
And in a month after that, I send you something else. And a month after that, I send you a cartoon. And month after that, I send you another idea. And month after that, I send you another idea. This is called contact marketing, where you create flip movement in the eyes of the person so that the person becomes interested in talking to you. Okay, there is Siddharth Setia here. Siddharth, are you there? Siddharth, are you there? Or you have left? There's a company who will come in Aarambh workshop. They manufacture fuel tanks. This is what we have sent to their prospective customers. It is a pen stand and it is a paperweight. It had a string, it had a QR code. And when they distributed in exhibition, what happened? Were they noticed? Yes, no?
Yes, they were noticed.
They did not carry any visiting card. I told them that you go into that exhibition and at every exhibition counter, leave this for everyone who matters to you. This is called
Contact marketing.
This is called direct mail or contact marketing. Okay. People forget innovative ideas and they end up doing what others are doing. If somebody is doing digital, let me also create a LinkedIn profile. Whether I open it or not, it doesn't make any difference. What is the third one of marketing?
Corporate literature.
So what do you do in corporate literature?
Brochures.
Yes. What's the fourth one?
Fourth one,
PR,
public
public
relations.
relation.
Fifth one.
Personal contact.
Can you all promise me before I end that out of these 7, when we meet and you are going to present on 19th and 20th your budget to all of us, to the panel, in that 1 or 2 or 3 or all 7 ideas, there will be a portion of money that you will keep aside in percentage as a percentage to revenue to increase your business. And
Yes.
please attend Yogesh's session where he will give you a ratio of it, of what works. And that ratio does not come from the books which are available at the airport. That ratio has come from hard-earned conversations with people like each one of you on the screen right now. He has spoken to almost 10,000 people who are Indian MSME owners of our size, of the size of the people who are present today. And from there, we have arrived at that formula. This is the 6th year where we are helping people build their budget. So this is coming from those formulas. Is that okay? Which is far more real than getting infatuated by somebody who does not understand S of our business. Okay? Is that okay? On that note, signing off, summarizing. Do you remember 3I?
Yes.
What are the 3I?
Increase revenue, idea to reduce cost, idea to optimize or improve processes.
Fantastic. What is 5F?
Family, friends, fitness, faith, and finance.
How many considerations for preparing a sales budget?
21.
Fantastic. What are the 7 musts? What are the 7 musts of marketing? Advertising, I'll just show it on
Advertising,
the screen.
direct mail,
Take a
corporate
screenshot. Take a
literacy.
screenshot. Take a screenshot. Okay. Before we take question and answer, quickly write down what is the number one thing that you found valuable in today's session. Write it in the chat box and then we'll take questions. Just take 60 seconds reflection. What is number one thing that you found valuable in today's session? I want each one of you to share feedback. This will help us improve. Fantastic. Now open to questions as Yogesh promised when we started that we will take questions at the end. So guys, you can now use the Thor hammer and ask questions. Any question under the sun that you would like to ask, which can help you scale up your company. Okay, so let me frame it so that all of you are able to ask questions properly. Okay, let me ask a question. Please answer this question. Chat box, answer this question, and that becomes your question.
What stops you in selling more?
Yes, Kajal, please go ahead. You have raised your hands. I'm sorry, I did not see that.
That's all right. So this is just linking back to something Dr. Yogesh said and what you said today. So you've asked us to do one of the things around the marketing piece to identify 2-3 specifics in the 7 musts and put an amount against it. Now, one, of course, while the ratio is something that Dr. Yogesh would share, what you also said yesterday, Dr. Yogesh, was that for about 90 days, you attempt that and you'd know whether it's working, not working, if you need to put more, put less. So is there a detailed formula around that as well? So how would you know? Because A, you're putting an amount. B, there's a ratio that would be given to us. But C, when we say 90 days to go ahead with it, whatever that marketing mechanism is, are there criteria that we should look at in those 90 days? Is that something that would be discussed as well?
So let me give you a range. If you are well within 7% or less than that as a marketing budget and putting in that much of money, 5 to 7%, you can pat your back. If it is going beyond 14%, I always I'm feeling a little scared with you asking a question, Kajal, but with my internal team members, I always say that if you do that, which is on this side of the extreme, you can go to Bali. But if you cross that extreme number that I just spoke about, you can go to Balia. Okay. So choice of Manali and Manila is in your own hands. This is a broad ratio. However, when you will put the top line number to it, it would be easier for you to calculate what is working for you, what is the cost of acquisition of your customer, and you will be able to arrive at a final detailed number. My request is that from this input, what comes to your mind, create that. And then when we meet, we validate that, brainstorm, share with you, either agree with you or share with you our ideas as well. It will help you to actually arrive at a particular number validated by many people in the room. Now, the advantage with Aarambh and SIL is that it is not only your idea. There is a cost accountant who will look at the cost angle. There will be a sales and marketing expert who will share his ideas. And it will be looked at various angles from all the experts of School of Inspirational Leadership. So that at least while you're stepping out on 20th, you know that this is the way to go. And then go all out and do it. Yeah.
Thank you.
And since you are talking about a profession which we know, there will be very standard ratios that I can share with you directly also. Because I have been there in that industry for more than now 2.5 decades.
Thank you.
Any other question that you guys would like to ask? 7 more minutes and then we are in our business of passenger vehicles. PV is passenger vehicle or PV is something else? Swanand, okay. Swanand, why don't you ask that question? Unmute and ask. Mr. Desai? Because I'll be able to understand your question better. In our business of PV, do we have to credit terms for rich outcome? Do you get the question, Yogesh? If you would like, I'm sorry, prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. So I don't even know the question.
Yes, Atul, you have a question. Go ahead.
Sir, I have one question related to this price increase you have told. Na? So, see, today's market is very competitive. So, till what extent we should increase the price so that we should not lose the business and we should be in a position to sell our product. So, is there any criteria?
Can I ask you a question behind the question?
Yeah.
Actually, everyone who asks this question wants to know how to increase the price. But they ask it in such a sophisticated manner because it is public. The clear question is how to increase the price. Now let me ask that question. You being my coach, help me understand what are the possible ways or what might be the possible ways a company can possibly increase their price with the competition still remaining the same. There are some companies who charge a premium and there are some companies who are not able to charge that premium. What do they do? Because of which they are able to charge a little premium on that.
Hi, Yogesh.
They understand the market.
Okay. Apart from that, what do they do? Any company, any segment, any industry, what are the few companies do that they are able to charge the premium despite that industry being very, very competitive? Some charge more premium, some charge less premium, depending on the stage of the product or the cycle of the product. But still, what do they do differently?
Those who are having good brand, they charge premium brand
They
like
their brand. Yes.
Yeah.
What else?
They monitor the market prices.
They monitor
and customer feedback
prices constantly. They remain vigilant. They remain agile. What else?
Customer feedback, communicate their values.
So you have got the answer and many more answers you can reflect on what do they need to do. Actually, what happens is when we are in a very, very competitive industry, okay, and you are listening to, let's say, not to 360-degree view, but you're listening to one view, which is your channel partner, let's say for that matter. Okay. Majority of the times these voices come from the channel partners who are traders in between you and the consumer. Okay. Consumer is ready to pay, provided that upper edge or a better quality or better service is provided. Yes or no?
Yes.
Who thought in India that for buying a pack of cigarette, people will pay 16 rupees extra? Over and above MRP as service. Is it happening now? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Who on earth thought that apart from quick commerce being the next game changer, they will also supply gold coin on this Dhanteras, which means high value product will also be sold. Whereas during our training programs 10 years back, everyone used to say that high value products can't be, the length of the sales cycle would be high if the value of the product is high. No. This generation is about delivery. This generation is about speed. If you can create within your own industry something miraculous and become faster, become better, become more economical, why will not a particular customer of yours be ready to pay the premium on that? Yes or no? And all the points that you have said are equally valid. If you look at any industry for that matter, standard established industries where competition is there, automobile is a greatest example. Imagine I in Gurgaon decide to launch a car today. There are giants sitting on top of my head, okay, who have the muscle power to crush me from day one. But there are some people who are able to charge more. Yes, no? Despite having so many critical data available for every raw material which goes inside a car. Why are they able to do that? Because some people, and please write it down, some people build a product with a name and some people build a brand name. अब वहां कंजूसी करोगे and you become mean as a miser. अच्छा, जो फ्रीलांसर्स हैं या जो छोटी कंपनीज चला रहे हैं उनके लिए भी मैं इसी क्वेश्चन में एड्रेस कर रहा हूं, या छोटे छोटे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं जिनके अभी साइज एंड स्केल उतना बड़ा नहीं हुआ है, जिनके एग्जांपल्स हम कोट कर रहे हैं, तो वहां पर क्या पर्सनल ब्रांड बनाना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है? नहीं है? Kajal will agree that in her industry there are people who are selling training programs at 4,000 rupees also. And there are people who are charging 50 lakh rupees for a half an hour conversation also. What have they done differently? I'm not demeaning those people who are charging less, by the way, by any means. I'm saying they are lazy. And now I'm actually demeaning them. They are not investing in their personal brand. Because of lack of awareness, because of being mean as a miser and not to invest in marketing. पता है, लेकिन दिल्ली में तो एक वर्ड यूज करते हैं जो मैं इस ऑडियंस में यूज नहीं कर सकता. मेरे को योगेश ने मना किया है कि अपनी भावनाओं को कंट्रोल करके ये सेशन करना. बट जब मैं फ्लोर पे होऊंगा तो मैं आप लोगों से परमिशन लेकर ये सब वर्ड्स बोलूंगा. तो अगर वैसे रहोगे तो ये नहीं कर पाओगे. हर चीज पकड़ पकड़ कर आगे चलोगे तो मार्केटिंग नहीं हो पाएगी, ब्रांड नहीं बन पाएगा, और हमेशा वही चिक चिक चलती रहेगी कि उसका 25 पैसे ज्यादा और उसका 30 पैसे कम. योगेश, यू वांटेड टू ऐड समथिंग टू इट.
So I'm going to address Atul's question also in a mathematical format. Is that okay? Everybody is okay? Because I know you see where you will land up this year. Okay, so your journey has been with us since 18 crores, right? You will land up at 240 crores this year. So at a PAT of 4.5, okay, you're going to make 10 crores this year. Is that okay? All my EC friends who are sitting here understand what I'm saying right now, and for the rest of the group also understand. At 4.5% PAT, we're going to make around 10 crores. We had 2% PAT. From 2% in the last 3 years, we moved to 4.5. Now, what I've done is, say, I assume that this is the only total number of sales that I'm going to do next year only. I'm just going to improve my percentage of pricing by 1%. How much? Atul, how much? 1%.
1%.
240 करोड़ का 1% कितना हुआ? 2 करोड़ 40 लाख रुपए.
Correct.
ये 1% बढ़ाने से ये पैट 22% इंप्रूव होता है. 1%. Now, anybody in this room, please tell me the price point that you're sharing, your average price point that you're sharing, that you're selling your product. Average price point that you're selling your product in. Average कि भाई मेरा एवरेज माल 1,000 रुपए में बिकता है या 2,000 रुपए में बिकता है. एवरेज टिकट साइज बताओ. Anybody, just raise your hand and anybody tell. Yes, Tushar.
70,000 per ton.
70,000 per ton. 70,000 का 1% क्या हुआ? Let's do that math ना. 70,000 कितना हुआ?
7,000.
What do you think is the potential and possibility that your customer will give you average 7,000 rupees more an hour per order? हो सकता है नहीं हो सकता?
हो सकता है.
हो सकता है. अच्छा, रेवेन्यू कितना किया लास्ट ईयर?
Revenue 17.5 CR.
कितना रेवेन्यू लॉस किया? अच्छा, पैट क्या बनाते हो आप?
18%.
10%, 15%, कितना पैट है?
सर आवाज आपका बरोबर नहीं आ रहा.
मैंने कहा पैट कितना है? पैट कितना है?
प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स कितना है?
कितना परसेंटेज है? 7%, 8%, 10%?
8% के करीब रहे.
ठीक है. 1,40,00,000 रुपए बनाया. इज दैट ओके? 1,40,00,000 रुपए 12% नुकसान किया. कितना पैट का नुकसान? 13% पैट का नुकसान किया. इज दैट ओके? Just by missing 1%, this is the compounding effect. And 1% average growth is like a peanut. Nobody understands it also. So all that what Akshay said was value creation. Is that okay? All that what Akshay said was value creation. And what I told you right now, Uma sir, at your number, if you just improve 1%, magic will happen. Magic. 990 rupees jeans. 1% increment is 1,097 rupees. Magic will happen. Okay? The only thing is that we are not looking at business in that form. I know why this big smile is there in front of you right now.
If the top line number is the
Top line is 1,000 crores. Akshay, top
if the
line is
zeros are
1,000 crores.
more, then obviously the smile will be bigger.
Top line is 1,000 crores. He sees 10 crores right now in front of him.
That's what I'm saying. So if the zeros are more, then the smile will be bigger.
That will be more, as simple as that, right? And this does not require any marketing. This does not require any sales. It just requires a strategic outlook and looking at the business and just shifting. You know, I always say people don't pay us, people like us, to put the screws. Okay, they pay us where to put the screw. Is that okay? People don't pay people like us to and understand what is the magic of really looking at the business from a real nice angle, right? And 1% हर साल अगर improve करोगे 22% से 15% से 22% का पैट में improvement होगा. Is that okay? 1% से. और inflation कितना beat कर रहे हो? 7%. Average cost of COGS will grow by 7%. So your profits remain intact. Yeah, sir, go ahead, sir. Uma sir, go ahead.
Yes, sir. For simple mathematics, it's like it looks very easy, but for bigger volumes, increasing 1% margin is not that easy. There will be so many permutation and combination that simply you have added 24 crores and 2.4 something for 1% of sales increase. That will not happen like that, sir. It's very price sensitive market because of the crowd. Simply increase. See, suppose my margin is, let us say, GP is 10%. If I increase by 1%, that comes to 10%.
Correct. Correct.
So it is not that easy to increase 1% all over the margin. Sometimes you will have some blue oceans.
So you
Sometimes
remember
you will have
yesterday,
blue oceans and red oceans. Average will reflect only the industry standard. If you want to remain as a leader, what I'm saying is that if you want to remain as a leader,
Absolutely.
you have to have a cutthroat on your prices. So simple calculation will show that by increasing 1% margin, you will
So
get
I'll come
22%
to
of
that. I'll come to that. Yesterday, how many of you understood the diffusion of innovation yesterday?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, diffusion of innovation. So at the innovators, probably you might get 3 or 4%. At the laggard, you might get maybe 2.5%. Averaging that out is your revenue at the end of the day.
Yes.
I'm saying to cut your product line items and really push and see where the improvements can be done. Even averaging 1% will give you this. Okay. So to give you an example, say in your business, say a wedding shopping, 1% is not going to count more. But probably
that particular season we can do. What I'm saying, whatever saying you right, but for entire volume 1% is not possible. Sometimes we have to reduce the price also.
Possible. Is it possible to reduce?
Every year what GP we will get, it varies, even though the prices are same.
Yeah. Because the COGS is changing.
So many issues will be there.
Agreed.
Excellence will be there, out of fashion will be there. So many issues will be there. Don't just, if you put the price, you don't think that you will get entire margin into your cash flows.
Absolutely right. But if you put averages, you are constantly pushing yourself forward, is what I'm saying. This is a mindset of pushing things forward.
Things have to be added, sir. What I'm saying is not only increasing the prices, as you said, that innovation, operational efficiency, reducing the cost, all those things will increase the margin. Not just by simply increasing the prices, don't think that we'll get the income. Sometimes it's counter-effective also. It's a counter-effective also. The volume will decrease.
Correct. Completely with you. And hence I said the mathematics.
Only one line I'm saying, this is not a simple mathematics.
It
cannot be done like that. This is my belief.
Yes.
Belief, it's my experience.
Completely agree. So what Akshay said and what I showed, what Akshay said and what I showed, if we add both the things, you will see the magic coming up. Okay? Value addition at the marketplace, innovation, marketing audaciously, blah, 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 blah. And then pushing very closely. I'm not saying you want to make 1%. Okay, don't make 1%, make 2.5%. I mean, 0.25, make 0.35, but keep pushing. 1% is an example, but keep pushing forward is what the game is.
Rather say price increase, let us say push the margin. That would be better proposition.
No problem.
You work on the margin.
How
to increase the margin would be much better. Sometimes you may sell less than the market and you may get more profit.
Agreed. 100%. You are right.
So price is not the only criteria to
grow. Yeah.
That's all.
Fantastic.
Depending upon the customer, we always take that calls, na?
Yes. But is it consciously done by the entire team?
Yeah.
That is, see, it has to be a system, na? Everybody is pushing that number. Only you pushing that number, Tushar, is not going to help, right? So everybody is pushing that margin a little up. So have we empowered? Then the question comes: have we empowered the team? Do they know how to do this? All of this becomes more important as we move. But fundamentally, I was answering Atul's question.
Right.
While Akshay was talking about forward-looking value addition, innovation, all of this margin needs to be kept pushing. And rightly given, Uma sir gave a good example. Rather than saying pricing, say margin to be pushed. Fair, no problems in both the scenarios. Fine. Yes, go ahead. Uday, go ahead.
I'll just, Uday, before I come to you, Mr. Rao, there are only 4 things that we can do. Let's summarize. There are only 4 things that we can do. Either we can increase the price, or we can sell more, or we can reduce the cost of goods sold.
Correct.
Or we can reduce the overheads.
Yeah, agree.
So no, is there a 5th thing that we can do?
Agree.
Yeah. And there are 3 things further we can do internally. We can collect the money faster. We can pay a little slower. And we can lower our inventory, which will lead to what you said. Improve our margin.
See, all these are external factors. You cannot decide on your own. If you want to receive early, it is not in your hands. If you want to pay late, it is not in your hands.
Yeah.
That will be dictated by the market. So the things which are in your control, you can manage. The things which are not in your control, that has to be adopted. So
And
you
you
have
will
to
adopt
make
or
your
improve.
finances. See, simply
1%
saying that
is
you
also-
have to increase your payables, you may get a bad name in the market. You may get a higher rate. While purchasing also, you may get a higher, or sometimes the things will not be available for you. That's the most dangerous thing.
Which lever to pick is something which you need to take a call judiciously. But also 1% example is also used as a metaphor that there is a possibility of getting a huge return by looking at one key lever. And that too in a small proportion. By changing small things, the resultant might be bigger. It is used as a metaphor to explain to the larger audience here on what all magic can happen even if one lever is
All improvements.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, Uday.
I just wanted to add something. I mean, try telling the sales team that the price is increasing by 1%. They will come back to you saying, reduce the price by 3%.
Why 3? Why stop at 3?
Yeah, whatever.
Give free. Give free.
This would be an extremely interesting conversation over a cup of coffee when we meet.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it.
Very nice. Anything else?
God bless you guys.
Yeah, I think
Thank
it's
you so
better
much
to
for
see.
joining from my side. I have
Will you share the PPT which you have shown today, sir? Will you share it?
not the PPT, but the extract I can definitely share, not the PPT. Yeah.
So
And
what
Yogesh sir,
you do is-
yesterday you promised that you will share that 7 elements of balance sheet, but you
Which
haven't yet shared.
I think I shared the sheet with you, no?
No. That you haven't shared that one, sir. Kindly share it. If
Sure,
it is
I'll do
not
that.
a proprietary issue, we will love to
It
have
is
your PPT,
no,
sir,
no, no. It is a
because it
proprietary.
was
It
so
is a
speed
proprietary.
that we could not able to catch the points.
No problem. I'm just sending all
Your
the
PPT is shared. It's useful. I think everybody agrees in the hall.
See what we will do is, what I'll do is immediately I will share that with you, and Akshay's PPT, we will have an extract of it and share it with you. That's not a problem.
No issue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll give me 10 minutes and I will put that onto the screens I will give that image to my team here, and my team will definitely post it on the group.
There was some template that is going to be distributed as Akshay sir was saying. So is there time for that to get
the template for building the budget, right?
Yeah. It's all the 21 consideration which you told that will be there in the templates and all.
Yes. There is a
It will
template
come
which
to you.
will
It will
come
come
to
to you.
you. It will be called a Aarambh budget template. It will have everything, all the calculations.
Right.
And
So-
just in case, if there is anything which you feel requires further clarification, we will post our mail addresses within the community group. If you have any questions, there are enough and more opportunities that we will have during this period, during pre-budget sessions, where various consultants, you will be able to answer questions. Just in case, if you want to talk to a particular partner in their session, do that. On 19th and 20th, do that. And after that also, we commit that we will be friends for life.
Good. Anything else? The template will come. I have already shared it with Shivanda. Shivanda is the group admin. She'll share it on the group to you, the 7 considerations of a balance sheet. And of course, the template will come to you on an email. That's no problem. Yeah. And please do not fill it before you start attending the third session, because the template has certain formulas. It should be easier for you to fill in, because if you fill in something else here and there and then formulas go disturbed, then we say, "Arey, ye number sahi nahi aa raha." So hold on for that. Just keep seeking and then start moving on. Is that okay? Great. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.
May all of you grow. God bless each one of you, and may money come your way easily. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you and bye bye, sir.